As usual, today we look at issues that concern our life, our day-to-day living, and today we'll be looking at issue in respect. When someone is not do something productive, if someone is not doing anything at all, and you have skill, you have knowledge, you have maybe one thing that's supposed to be putting money in your pocket or putting food in your table or your mouth, and you are finally got to manage it become a different thing entirely. What is going on across the world, especially since last week? Yes, last week that Donald Trump become the president of United States of America. A lot of policy decision that he is taking on behalf of America is actually affecting a lot of country, and that's the reason today we need to look inward and see what we can do to actually be helping ourselves. And today we'll be looking at a way or how we can protect or manage our diversity for national development. Nigeria is a country we are from different parts, speaking different language, and but to some extent, I don't think that's supposed to give us headache. If we all love this country, we are patriotic, and we know what to do. It's just for us to benefit from our diversity. They say you are from the north, I'm from the south, or from the west, from the east. But we now look at it that all of us, we are in one country. And the best thing we need to do to see how we can make that country work for ourselves. So before my guests come in, is a very, very unique and wonderful a professor from the University of Lagos, a man of many, many parts, and he's an international figure. His school travel across many parts of the world, so we'll be sharing his experience with us on how we can, on our own, solve Nigeria problem instead of us waiting for other people to solve the problem for us. And I want to just quickly say this. Sometime my vehicle is at mechanic and need to use the public means of moving from one place to the other. And this is just like an appeal. It's going to be an appeal. And the appeal is to some of these are brothers and sisters, yes, that are taking people from Kenu down to either Airport Junction or 7 or 8. I want to just appeal to every one of you, and especially those who you are a young person and another person is making effort to put food on his family table, and what you are just doing is what I regard as extortion. Someone is you are a young person. Look at what is going on in the world. There are so many countries that it's the young people that are actually moving those countries forward. Why can't you yourself find a way to get a Marwa and be riding? So you just believe you leave house, and what you just going to do is for you to be tearing ticket for people, and sometimes a young person, even some of them even senior them, and you are harassing the person because you want to collect some money from that person. So please and please, every one of you that is at Kenu or Kenu to Airport Road or Kenu to Airport Junction or Kenu to 7 or 8, why not? Is it the kind of way you want to be generating your own income? How long? Maybe in 60 years to come, in 40 years to come, in 70 years? Is it what you will be doing as a source? Okay, when you leave your house, say you are going to work, what do you tell people you are doing? What is actually in what way are you solving Nigeria problem? That is just for that. I have my professor already with me. Prof, can you hear me? Prof, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very, very much for joining us. Prof is already live on VOP 90.3. The voice you are hearing is a very, very distinguished professor. Obisi Chris is a PhD, a professor of human resource development and organizational transformation. Missionary is a lecturer at the University of Lagos. And Prof Double His manager is a president of 2 institutes together, and those institutes are not just a cheap institute. Prof is a president of institute. Okay, institute of. Okay, let me put it this way. Prof is a president of Institute of Business Culture and Human Capital Preservation Nigeria, and equally double as president Institute of Development and Political Culture. So for you to know that, Prof, the guest we are having today is a square peg in a square hole, or round peg in a round hole. Prof, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on VOP 90.3.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm so happy to be here.
Okay. The topic we are having with Prof is managing or protecting Nigeria diversity for national development. Prof, let me start this way. Since almost getting to 2 weeks that Donald Trump become the president of America, a lot of presidents, head of state, they are trying to adjust their seat for them to sit very, very well. Because it will tell so many countries that their citizens should go to their country and make those countries better for themselves, or let the president of those countries do what they need to do so that their citizens will come there, be part of those who will change the narrative for better. Let me start. As African nation, what do you think our presidents across the whole Africa should be doing now with the next year, 4 years with Donald Trump, president of America? He's not going to give anything free dash. It's not, issue of money for HIV, AIDS, NGO, and the rest of them. Prof is not going to be a Father Christmas. What do you think we should be doing?
Thank you so much for this great opportunity to speak to the audience and speak to Nigerians and Africans. There is only one solution. The Institute of Development and Political Culture Nigeria is saying that there is only one solution because Trump is back. Nigeria and Africa need a new mindset. A new mindset to handle and deal with Trump for the next 4 years. What should Nigeria and Africa be doing? That is a $1 million question. This is the only thing they must do. They must look inwards now. Nigeria must look inwards now. Africa must look inwards now. What Nigeria and Africa, what they have been looking in Sokoto is in their Sokoto here. You can see America is a very diverse country. South Africa is a very diverse country. UK is a very diverse country. Nigeria and Africa must now, than ever before, start making best use of our diversity. Moderator, do you know that Nigeria has mineral resources everywhere? Natural resources everywhere. Above all, Nigeria has the best human resource you can think of. So what is our problem? We need Trump. We need other countries. We can't do it alone, but if Trump does not want us, we can reject ourselves. Let us look inwards. Our institute is saying that late 1990s, 1999, 1998, by year 2000, Dr. Chris Imoisili was the president of NECA, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association. He was their president then. Dr. Christopher Kolade was at Cadbury then as managing director. Felix Ohiwere was at Nigerian Breweries then. Mr. Chief Olusegun Oshinkeye, Dr. Michael Omolayole, Mazi Sam Ohwabunwa, Professor Pat Otomi. These guys were holding sway. Basim Dioho of UAC. All these guys were holding sway in corporate Nigeria, late 1990s to 2000. What did they do? They looked inwards. They decided to use locally made products, sorghum, in the manufacture of drinks, beer, and food and beverage. And they saved Nigeria millions of dollars because they looked inward. That is how to deal with Trump. See, let me tell you, I don't know why the world is scared of Trump. If the whole world will come together, China, Russia, Nigeria, Europe, Asia, if they come together and put their foot down, Trump will fail. Because America alone cannot do it without the support of others. That is the truth. Let me just stop here.
Okay, now,
so let us look inward.
Okay,
yes.
Now, Prof, what we are looking at this is, if you look at, as a student of criminology, if you look at some of the challenges, the crime and criminality that is going on in the world, some of them are actually for the survival of some of those individuals. Not that they actually want to engage in crime, but when they look front, look back, there's no opportunity for them. And if crime that will give them money now show up, they look at, okay, this is the only way for me to survive. And that is the reason why they engage in this crime. I equally know that from history, the Sango Ota is supposed to be an industrial zone. The Aswani, Abimbola Way, Acme Road in Ikeja, and so many parts of Nigeria are supposed to be an industrial zone. But we are here, so many of those companies were closing down, moving to some African country, occasioned by maybe the cost of doing business, and it's as if we don't look at it as a trouble. And today, what we now do, some of those where those companies are that have closed down, become a place where we pray for job. What do you think we can do for us to find a way to change the narrative? Because there's no job that will come from heaven, or there's no job that will come through prayer. I believe in prayer strongly, but the Bible even said that prayer without work is as good as dead.
Yeah, you see, it's the same thing we are still saying. Nigerian government, African governments, they have not been working for the benefit of Nigeria and Africans. Our leaders are our problem. The problem with Nigeria rests squarely with leadership. Then after leadership, then followership. Let me tell the world the truth. To develop a country like Nigeria, to transform Africa, is not rocket science. You don't need to ask the Almighty God to come down to transform Nigeria or Africa. No. It requires doing simple things of planning, organizing, controlling, collaborating. Simple. Nigeria should build infrastructure. Why are we not building infrastructure? We have what it takes to develop this country. We have the human resource for this country to grow. In 1990, we went to Dubai. Dubai was a desert land in 1990 with traders only. By 2014, we went again on a training program for NNPC staff in Dubai by 2014. When we got to Dubai, Dubai completely changed. Massive development in Dubai. The whole world is going to Dubai. Why? Because of leadership. Once you have a determined leader that is ready to put the people first, put the country first, Nigeria will be developed because we have all the resources, natural resource, human resource, material resource. Look at former President Obasanjo. He said when he was the military head of state, he left 4 shipping lines. He left an airline. By the time he came back as a civilian president, there was not a single shipping line. There was no airline. What is the matter with us? Who do us? It's a leadership problem. Nigerian leaders are fighting only for themselves instead of developing Nigeria and Nigerians. And there is no way. Nigeria has no business becoming the headquarters of poverty in the world. Why? It's not possible. We shouldn't. But because our leaders have failed us. So when you fail to do what you're supposed to do, that is the position you will find yourself. That's why we are saying that we need a new mindset in Nigeria. The current president of Zambia, you heard what he said. You heard what he said. He said when he became the president, they brought a bill worth millions of dollars to buy vehicles for him. And he asked them, are there no vehicle in the government house? He said, but they're old. He said he will manage it. That's leadership. I'm telling you that if this our president on May 29th, if he has told Nigerians, starting from today, I will use only locally made vehicles. I will embrace made in Nigerian products. I will wear made in Nigeria clothes and shoes. The National Assembly, the governors, everybody will toe the line because it's a question of leadership. If we tell Nigerians from today onwards, we are going to adopt Indian philosophy of life, simple living and high thinking. Everybody, we follow him because it is the leader that leads, others we follow. Whatever is happening, all the waste happening in Nigeria today, others is because it's coming from the top. You must reduce the cost of governance. You must reduce the cost of governance. That's number one. If you don't reduce the cost of governance, you're not going anywhere. Secondly, all those Nigerians that have embezzled Nigeria's money, for example, the subsidy regime, they know those people. Go and look for them, collect the money back from them, use it to develop the country. They know what to do, just they don't want to do it. To transform Nigeria and Africa, it's not difficult. See, God help only those who help themselves. If we pray from now till thy kingdom come, without taking steps to develop the country, we are not going anywhere. Look at the Israelites. They suffered for many years. But when they cried out, when they took action, crying out is taking action. When they cried out, God said, I've heard the cry of my people. And he helped them. If we continue praying without action, we are wasting our time. And to transform Nigeria and Africa is very simple. We just need good leadership.
Hello? Hello, Prof? Hello?
Yes.
Now, Prof,
yes.
Prof, because
yes.
you say if we have to follow the model of India, simple living and sophisticated thinking.
And high thinking.
High thinking. Now, I found out the same India, China, Russia, they benefit from, they know the importance of a population. They know that when you have
Yes.
the number of people, that is money on its own. What do you think it
Yes.
inform Nigeria having excess of 200 million population for us to now become the capital of poverty? So what do you think, how sophisticated do you think we should think so that we should know, do you know what, let's forget about the mineral resources, but this population is an asset for us to make a lot of money.
Yes, you are 100% correct. And let us paint this picture before Nigerians and anybody that is under the influence of our voice. Do you know that China is the largest country in the world in population? And China is doing well. Why? They're making best use of their population. And they're not selfish like our leaders. Do you know that Russia has a very large population? Russia is doing well economically, development-wise. Do you know that America has a very large population, 400 to 500 million people, and America is doing well with their population? Do you know the tragedy? Your country, Nigeria, is largest population in Africa and is poor. Why should it be so? India has a very large population. After China, that's India. India is doing well. India's economy is about 4 to 5 trillion with their population. India has gone to space. Technology, India is very good. Then what is the problem with Nigeria? Why are we not making best use of our population? Let me tell you why. It's because Nigeria does not know how to manage diversity. We are not good in managing diversity and inclusion. If you make best use of Yoruba people, highly knowledgeable people, well-educated people, if you make best use of Igbos, very creative people, very industrious people, very innovative people, if you make best use of Hausa Fulani people, they're good in agriculture, and so on and so forth. Can you imagine the land mass in the north, and we can't feed ourselves? A bag of rice, moderator, a bag of rice in our lifetime is about 90 to 100,000. That's a disgrace. It shouldn't be so. Unfortunately, what our leaders is doing is that they are not making best use of our diversity, because diversity simply means proper representation of the people of the country. Make Igbos part of governance. Make Yoruba part of governance. Make Hausa part of governance. Make Ijo, Ishekiri, all these ethnic groups, make them part of governance of the country, so that the Yorubas will bring their fantastic ideas. Igbos will bring their fantastic ideas. Hausas will bring their fantastic ideas to transform the country. Unfortunately, and very tragically, our leaders have been going against the spirit of diversity. The problem we have in Nigeria is that if an Hausa man or Fulani man is the president of the country, what will he do? He will make majority of the people running the government with him to come from Fulani or Hausa. If a Yoruba man is the president of the country, majority of the positions, sensitive positions of the country, critical position in the country, will be run by Yorubas. If an Igbo man becomes president tomorrow, he will make Igbos more in running affairs of the country. That's wrong. Let us harness the talents and abilities of our people, whether Igbo, Yoruba. You don't look at face. You look at knowledge and intelligence. If we follow this model, Nigeria will prosper. Do you know that an American manager, if an American manager knows that a worker who is a black man is intelligent, he will bring the person closer, get the knowledge from the person, and move the company forward. An average Nigerian manager, if he or she knows that a staff there is intelligent, he wouldn't care. He will say, go to hell with your intelligence. That's the problem with Nigeria. We are not managing our diversity and inclusion very well. And we will continue to pay the price for it. Nigeria and Africa must turn away from their wicked ways and embrace inclusion and diversity to transform this country. We can't continue like this. We have no business being poor with what we have, with our population. Let me tell you, all this nonsense they're talking that if the infrastructure is there in Nigeria, if you have energy, let me tell you, if you have energy sufficiency in Nigeria, if you have infrastructure, road infrastructure in Nigeria, businesses, investors will be running to Nigeria to invest. Investors are leaving Nigeria because there are no infrastructure, because the business environment in Nigeria is very harsh. That's why they're running away. Once you provide infrastructure, provide energy, all of them will rush back. Unfortunately, I'm going to be 60 years very soon. Nigeria is producing barely 3,000 megawatts. When I was a young man in secondary school in Enugu State, Nigeria was producing 4,000 megawatts. I will soon be 60 years. My country is producing less than 3,000, 4,000 megawatts. It's a disgrace. South Africa is producing more than 30,000 megawatts. China, hundreds of thousands of megawatts. You cannot grow. You cannot develop a country with that. Let me tell you, manufacturing is the key to development all over the world. Unfortunately, industries are leaving Nigeria. That's why I'm telling you, the golden age of Nigerian business development was late 1990s, early 2000, with Ohiwere, Chris Imoisele, Ohuabunwa, Oshinkaya, Patu Tommy, Omolayole. All these guys, when they were there, things were not this bad. Unfortunately, we're not doing much, and we're paying the price for it.
Prof, as a president of Institute of Development and Political,
Yes.
and as a president of Institute of Development and Political Culture, what do you think we should be doing now? Because
Yes.
our young ones are becoming so sophisticated every day. But those that are making decisions, they are still following some crude method in terms of development. And the world, not only a global village, is now in the palm of everybody. If a man did not see where to deploy his skill, knowledge, ability, he take to crime. I'm afraid if we continue in this route, a time is coming, some of these kidnapping we hear, banditry, it could be a child play because people want to exhibit their energy.
Yes, you see, what the Institute of Development and Political Culture Nigeria, one of the things they're doing now is that the Institute is saying that we need a new mindset now. We can't continue the way we have been in this country. Part of the things we are doing is that we believe that there are brilliant minds, there are brilliant Nigerians We have the ideas locally here to develop Nigeria. Unfortunately, the government and the leaders are not listening to those ideas. So what we are doing now is that, because even the youth have been contaminated, I'm telling you, everybody wants to make it quick rich. That's what is going on now. Greed is everywhere, even among the youth. So we need a new mindset. So what we are doing now is that the Institute is calling on every Nigerian, every African. Let us document the ideas of Nigeria's great minds in a book. The ideas of people like Awo. Do you know that Obafemi Awolowo was able to use education and cocoa to transform the Southwest? Zik was able to use coal. Ahmadu Bello was able to use groundnut to transform Nigeria those years. And we're doing well. Let us document the ideas of these great Nigerians. How did they do it? People like Okonjo Iweala, Akinwumi Adesina, Pat Utomi, Christopher Kolade, all these Nigerian giants, Tony Elumelu, don't let us document their ideas in a book. Dangote, document the ideas in a book. Oshinkeye is still alive. Let us document the ideas of Gamaliel Onosode. Gamaliel Onosode is dead. But we don't want his ideas to die with him. We have lectures he delivered while he was alive. We can go to his foundation. We know those he worked with. We can go to the archives, get their ideas together, document them in a book, take them to schools, universities, take them to every organization, take them to local government, to state government, to federal government. Let us use their ideas to transform Nigeria, because Nigeria must think global and act local. Charity begins at home. And that will affect the younger ones. If not, the younger ones are already going. That's part of what we need to do. Thinking global, but acting local. Simple living, high thinking. Reduce the cost of governance. Build infrastructure. Build roads. Create energy. It is very difficult for you to start business in Nigeria and come out successful, because Nigerian business environment is saturated with negative things. There are no infrastructure. So businesses are dying rather than businesses growing. Do you know that Mazi Sam Ohwabunwa in 1999, there was a workshop on reinventing Nigerian business environment? Mazi Sam Ohwabunwa said in 1999, let me quote him, that Nigeria was suffering under the heavy yoke of deindustrialization. In other words, by 1999, that was when industries started leaving Nigeria, like Dunlop. He warned Nigerians. Pat Utomi was there, that workshop. Christopher Kolade was there. Bassing Dioho of UAC, he was there. Bassing Dioho is the godfather of restructuring in Nigeria. Chris Imoisile, he's dead now. But his idea shouldn't die with him. Pat Utomi, all of them were there. And Charity Institute of Bankers, Kofi Abayomi, all of them were there on reinventing Nigeria's business environment. And what Mazi Ohwabunwa, Pat Utomi, Oshinkeye, Chris Kolade, Ohiwere, all those things they talked in 1999, that Nigeria should do something because deindustrialization is what is taking place. Industries were leaving. If they had listened to them in 1999, Nigeria would have been an industrialized country today. Unfortunately, the situation has gotten worse.
We have, through technology, Obisi Chris, PhD, Professor of Human Resource Development and Organization Transformation Missionary University of Lagos. He is double as president of True Institute. Together, this is a man that knows us well. Is a globe, a well. He think. He said we should think local and act global. He's called double as the president of Institute of Business
No. We said Nigeria and Africa must think global and act local.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Act local, yes, because charity begins at home. We must act local.
Thank you very much. The president of Institute of Business Culture and Human Capital Preservation of Nigeria, and equally president, Institute of Development and Political Culture. Today we are looking at managing or protecting Nigeria diversity for national development. In fact, I've been, Prof, apart from lecture we do have in the class, I'm equally on another different lecture now that you are talking to the whole world. People are listening to you across the whole world, and they are saying that, you know what, Prof, even you are talking of, let's document from the knowledge of Professor Pat Utomia, even your own knowledge, you are equally pushing it down. I am praying seriously that the authority should be able to say, you know, say, Prof, can we sit down? We promise you, we swore with Oshongo, we swore with the Bible, or swear with the Quran, whatever instruction, whatever advice you are going to give to us, we find a way to implement that. We cannot continue like this, because what Donald Trump is doing in 4 years, we may have another double Donald Trump who will come and say, do you know what? Everybody, go to your country. We want America for America. If you want to talk with Prof, the number is 08036929933. 08036929933. That is the number. Let's talk to our very, very respected, distinguished Professor Obisi Chris, PhD. He's a professor of human capital development. He's right with us in the studio. Before the phone come up, Prof, I know that 2027 is still very, very a bit far, but politicians, they're looking at 2027 like yesterday. What do you think we should be doing now, so that sometimes the politicians use our young one, the youth, for political thuggery and the rest of them, why other countries, they are using their youth to fly to the moon, fly to the sky, and how do we change the narrative so that we will not be pushing the energy of our youth? We should not be deploying it, becoming negative to our national development.
This is a fantastic question, and I did not know. God bless you. I did not know that you're going to ask this question. Let me tell you, the 2027 election is a waste of time. Unless Nigeria will do two things. If they don't do the following two things that we are going to mention now, 2027 is a waste of time. Nigeria will remain in the doldrums. Let me tell you, number one, INEC must be born again. INEC must be born again. The same people that conducted 2023 election should never be there for 2027. They must be born again. That's number one. Number two, why would they be born again? The only mode of transmitting results must be done electronically. All this after election, you transmit result, then you go to a local government to go and do whatever you want to do, and the court will say that you can use either manual or electronic. No way. So INEC must be born again. Result must be transmitted from the polling unit to the IREV, and that will be the authentic one, no other one. If that doesn't happen, 2027 is a waste of time. Finally, judiciary. The second one, judiciary. Nigeria judiciary is part of the problem of this country. If we have honest men and women that fear God, that we take decision based on law, not based on faces of people, Nigeria is not going anywhere. For lawyers who are listening to us, the lamp of justice must not go out in darkness. It is when there is darkness that you need the lamp of justice. Look at Trump. A court in America has said, Trump said, it's not everybody that is born in America should be a citizen. The US Constitution says once you're born in America, you're automatically a citizen. Trump said no. They went to court. The court said this decision by Trump is a blatant, let me use the word, blatant disregard to the Constitution. And that court suspended it. Can this happen in Nigeria? Where a court can say, President, no, you can't do this. So that's the problem we're having. So if they don't take care of INEC and take care of judiciary, 2027 will not work. The same, can we imagine? Somebody did not contest the election. Supreme Court said he can become a member of Senate. You know, Lawana, you know, you see, if we continue with the same system, we are not going anywhere. You didn't contest
a primary.
election.
You didn't go for a primary, yeah.
You didn't go for primary. Now he's at the Senate. What kind of law is that? It doesn't make sense to anybody. I'm telling you, if the same people are still there, they will, in fact, they will bring somebody who is not even a member of a political party to come out and become president, and nothing will happen for the country.
Okay, Prof, maybe lastly, let me quickly pick your brain on the issue of security. If you look at security personnel, when you see a security personnel in Nigeria, you see a security personnel in India, in Canada, in Australia, in America, you see that the gap is a bit very much. What do you think we can do to protect our security so that they can protect us? Because if you don't protect me and you're expecting me to protect you, it's as if you're asking for, you want me to squeeze water out of rock.
Pennywise, pound foolish is killing Nigeria. You know, in 2014, I don't want to mention the name, a popular Nigerian musician went to Dubai and he was posing that he bought the latest car in the world. And he quoted the amount he bought the car. This is real life. I don't want to mention the name. In Dubai, you know what happened? They took that Nigerian popular musician then. They took him to a police station in Dubai. They showed him the car of a policeman in Dubai. The car of that policeman in Dubai is worth 3 times the amount of the car that popular Nigerian singer was making out in Dubai. Can you give such a person bribe? You can't. But in Nigeria here, an average policeman, security person, is poor. They can't fuel their vehicle. Vehicle is not there. The infrastructure they use, the gun, the equipment they use, they're not sophisticated. You want them to go and die and kill themselves. It's not possible. Nigeria is not serious. I'm telling you. And we can't continue like this. Our security people must be properly educated, well taken care of, properly paid, provide accommodation for them, provide scholarship for their children to go to school. If not, we are wasting our time. We will continue going around the circle. That's the problem with the country.
Thank you very much, Prof. Before I let you go, I want you to just, in addition to that, just in 60 seconds, those that are making decision at this very crucial time, what is the fast link do you think we can enter now? Because things are a bit very, very tough. Even to survive in Nigeria is a bit very, very tough. And you don't know, some of us that are sending us 2,000, urgent 2,000 naira, God forbid, you did not, Trump now send the person to Nigeria. to come and join us. What do you think we should be doing now as a resistance, as a buffer on some of the Trump action in the next 4 years, particularly in Nigeria?
You know, to handle Trump, I know that American courts will stop him in some of these radical decisions. Unfortunately, the worst of us are the ones ruling us, even in America. How can an ex-convict be a president of a country? It doesn't make sense. But that's what, if it can happen in America, then what of Nigeria? So I think we will encourage every Nigerian, though the environment is harsh, things are not moving well, don't give up. Work harder. See what you can do on your own. Educate yourself more. Go and learn handiwork and see what you can do for yourself and for your family. But we are sure that Nigeria will one day become a developed country. God is not sleeping. As we are working hard, let's pray hard also. That's what we can do. But for Trump, I know that there are some countries that will gang up against him. Look at what happened. He took an American company, Google, and some other companies to come up with chat, this technology, this AI, chat GTP, open AI. And they said it cost them $6 billion or $5 billion. But a Chinese company has come up and saying that they did their own, that the DeepSeek, the latest DeepSeek, it cost them just 1/4 or even less of what they use in developing American technology. And Trump is saying, this DeepSeek is an eye-opener to American companies, which means that if China, Russia, African countries, some European and Asian countries can come together, they can withstand Trump, because Trump cannot succeed alone. Trump needs others. Look at what is happening now. They're saying that there are no farmers now in America. Can they cope? When hunger will start biting Americans, they will think twice. If Trump doesn't calm down, he might end up a failure. I'm telling you the truth.
Thank you, Prof. Obisi Chris, PhD, Professor of Human Resources Development and Organization Transformation, Missionary, University of Lagos, and equally double as a professor of two Institute of Business Culture and Human Capital Preservation of Nigeria, and Institute of Development and Political Culture, Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us as you help us to look at managing and protecting our Nigeria diversity for national development. Thank you very much. And Prof, maybe one of these days, by the special grace of God, we are going to have you directly on set, in the studio here, by the grace of God, because we need to educate Nigeria that, you know what, we can do it. God has given us the capacity, we can do it. We just need to develop that political will and call our leaders, decision makers, and say, you know what, Nigeria can truly take over the world and become not only giant of Africa, the giant of the world. Prof, thank you very much for joining us on VOP.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. But I want to say this: to develop and transform Nigeria is possible. We just need a new mindset. All things must pass away and all things will become new. That's the only way to go now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. My name is Joseph Folorunsho, and we are going to do this again next week by the special grace of God from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and we'll be here. Chidera, thank you very much. Anchi, thank you very much for being a pilot to take us to this far. Bye-bye for now. Remain your die on VOP 90.3. Bye-bye for now.